Welcome to History's Mysterious Minds, where we explore the stories history couldn't solve and the minds that left only questions behind. Tonight we revisit San Francisco in the 1970s, a city of rising freedom where communities found their voice, and yet, hidden in the shadows, someone hunted in silence. He met his victims in clubs, drew their portraits, then killed them. He was never caught, and few even remember his name. This is the story of the Doodler, San Francisco's forgotten serial killer. The Castro was awakening. LGBT rights were gaining national attention. San Francisco stood at the forefront of that fight. But while the city was learning to live out loud, danger quietly crept through its nightlife. Between 1974 and 1975, at least 5 men were murdered, each stabbed multiple times, each gay, and each linked to a stranger who drew them before they died. Who was the Doodler? He was young, between 19 and 25, described as soft-spoken and artistic. He would frequent gay clubs, diners, and bars along the waterfront. He introduced himself by sketching his target, earning the nickname the Doodler. He charmed, he smiled, then he followed, and when they were alone, he killed. His weapon? A knife? His motive? Still unknown. Gerald Kavanaugh, 49, was found stabbed to death in Ocean Beach in January 1974. Just months later, Joseph Stevens, a well-known female impersonator, was murdered in Golden Gate Park. Others followed. Klaus Christmann, Frederick Capin, and Harold Goulberg. Some had multiple stab wounds. Some showed signs of overkill. All were gay. All were found in public parks or beaches. At the time, the LGBTQ community faced deep distrust of law enforcement. Many victims were misidentified or misgendered, some deaths were downplayed, investigators had few leads, witnesses stayed silent, fearing outing, arrest, or ridicule. It wasn't just a manhunt for a killer, it was a crisis of culture, and fear kept spreading. 3 men survived attacks they believed were from the Doodler. Each offered chillingly similar descriptions, yet none agreed to testify. One was a prominent diplomat, another a well-known entertainer. Coming forward would have meant public exposure. Careers and lives were at stake. Without their testimony, prosecutors couldn't move forward, and the Doodler walked free. Police eventually detained a man matching the Doodler's description. He admitted to frequenting the same venues. He carried a sketch pad, but with no physical evidence and no victim willing to speak in court, charges were dropped. The suspect was released. His name was never made public. The case officially stalled. Unlike other serial killer cases, the Doodler received little press attention. Some believe race played a role, others point to the sexuality of the victims. In the post-Zodiac years, a quiet killer in the gay community didn't draw headlines. In many ways, the case was buried by shame, public, private, and institutional. The pattern was deliberate. He connected with his targets through art, sketching them, gaining their trust. Then, in quiet, secluded places, parks, beaches, hotel rooms, he made his move. Quiet, precise. No signs of robbery, no signs of personal motives. These weren't acts of impulse. They followed a plan, a ritual. He took his time, he waited until they were alone, and then they vanished. Word spread in whispers. Some in the gay community grew wary of strangers. Others dismissed it, fearing hysteria would justify further discrimination. Bars installed lights. Friends walked in pairs. But still, people disappeared, and in the background the Doodler vanished as quietly as he arrived. San Francisco had a reputation for serial killers. The Zodiac had haunted headlines for years. The Zebra murders, the Golden State Killer, many names became infamous. But the Doodler didn't fit the narrative. He didn't taunt, didn't write letters, didn't kill across demographics. He targeted one group, already marginalized, and so the media largely looked away. In 2018, the San Francisco Police Department quietly reopened the case. New DNA techniques sparked hope. Sketches were released, a reward was offered. By 2022, they revealed they had a person of interest, possibly the same suspect as decades ago, but they needed help, new witnesses, new voices. The Doodler might still be alive, just waiting. Despite his nickname, no known sketches survive. None were collected as evidence. No one can say what he drew. Portraits, caricatures. He created to disarm, to connect, and then destroy. It's haunting to imagine a smiling sketcher handing over a drawing, and then drawing a blade, art as camouflage, creativity as a trap. Between 1974 and 1975, the murders ceased. Why? Did he stop? Move? Die? Some theorize fear caught up with him. Others suggest he was institutionalized, or perhaps killed in another crime. Serial killers often escalate, but this one disappeared. His silence is as chilling as his spree. There may have been more. Unidentified bodies, misclassified deaths, people buried without answers. In 1970s San Francisco, many lived secret lives. Some disappeared without notice. The Doodler's confirmed count is 5, but it could be much higher. The Doodler remains one of America's most enigmatic serial killers. No confirmed identity, no trial, no justice. His case lingers in police files, an open question in black ink. A killer who sketched, smiled, and vanished. Somewhere out there, someone remembers a face, a name, a drawing. Perhaps one day the final lines will be drawn. The Doodler case reminds us that some crimes fade, not because they're solved, but because they're ignored. Let's not let that happen. If you enjoyed this story, like, subscribe, and share history's mysterious minds. It helps more forgotten voices find light and keeps pressure on the questions still unanswered. Have a mystery you want us to investigate next? Reach out, we're always listening. Until then, stay curious. And remember, even forgotten lines can reveal a truth.